No, it's a bonus action.
Oh, it's a bonus action?
Yeah, because then you have to cast it and then hit someone. So it's like bonus action X and then hit them.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway.
Do you have to use a bonus action to start this podcast?
It does use a swear.
Where's that? Don't even bother getting your own. You can't beat that.
No, I know. But then that's like having that swift action that might be happening at some point.
Yeah, one day.
In the future.
I don't know. Podcast is a lot of work. Feels more like a full action.
Look, I can tell you, some days it does feel like a full round action.
Life is a full round action.
Oh, no.
But you can get away from life by listening to us on our podcast.
You damn well can.
So, last week though, the party had returned to Goodmead after leaving Brinchanda because, well, you know what? We don't want to be in the place that does lottery human sacrifices on the new moon. And the new moon's coming up.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
So you decided rather than going back to the other big town that you were initially interested in, which is East Haven, you'd make another stop off at Goodmead, which has sort of become a little bit of your home base. Although, upon getting there, you realise that the run-in with the Verbeeg and, becoming sort of more well-known adventurers could be dangerous for Goodmead too. So you're being welcome back, but it's sort of like an uneasy, well, are you still being chased by a Verbeeg? Are we going to get attacked at any moment? However, you still came back. You had a chat with Olivessa and Shander about upcoming Goodmead elections and decided that you'd be staying here for a couple of days until the new moon's over.
It's in 2 days?
Yes.
A day and a half?
Yeah, so we've got this night and the next night will be the new moon.
Cool.
Which will be when it happens.
Well, not so cool.
And we're at nighttime at the moment.
I'm going to say you're in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys got a bit of time today before it happens. What I do want to read to you, because I said this last week as well, I've got some fun stuff to read about things happening in the Dale that you maybe don't necessarily know as characters. So let me read this to you. We fade into a room lit by firelight braziers and burning coal. A haze fills the air, causing everything to seem slightly out of focus. The walls are bare grey hewn stone, making the room feel smaller than it actually is. Functional and mirthless, this place gives off an oppressive feeling. In this room we can see a short, stout male figure. His soot-stained clothes laid over gritty coal dust-covered skin, with his face framed both by a long, grey, dirty beard and a jagged black crown which sits on a furrowed brow. One hand hangs loosely by his side, clad in a spiky black gauntlet, while the other clutches a concealed black, uneven orb. We can hear in the background metal clinking noises, like gears and cogs grinding in some kind of unseen mechanism. In front of the figure is a statue of a similarly stout, albeit larger figure, dressed in scale mail with an intense, sharp look in her eye. A great axe is being leaned on from one hand, hilt up, blade down, and the other is an elongated, ridged skull that has rough carved tendrils curling underneath. The figure before the statue is dressed as a ragged king, whispering something inaudible to us. He stares at the object in his hand until suddenly the monotonous mechanical sound is broken by a loud crash. The king whips around in sudden, wild-eyed frenzy, and his head darts back and forth looking for the source of the sound. We see him standing in front of the statue, and now we see his hand is bleeding from a grip too tight on a sharp, uneven object. His face finally comes to a stop as he notices the cause. A brazier has fallen in the corner of the room, spilling its embers across the floor. The king stands there, staring at the orange warm dots of light. Then we see the coals. We get closer and closer as the image gets brighter and brighter until everything goes white.
Ooh, spooky.
Fancy.
Dad?
It is the afternoon in Goodmead. You're all at the mead hall. You've discussed potentially staying at Sveta's place. But for you guys as a party, is there anything you'd like to do?
What time of the day is it, sorry?
I'd say it's in the perpetual afternoon. Maybe early afternoon?
3:30.
Yeah, earlier.
3:30 perpetual 3.
Wasn't it a bit later when we got back?
Have we still got have we had a short rest recently, or a long rest, or anything? Looks like I have all my spells.
I think the last rest we had was the night we spent at the church and
but we just haven't done
the House of the Morning Lord.
Cool.
I think you might have even spent another night there. But yeah, you've definitely rested as well. You rested out in the wilderness when you were bringing back the sled.
Oh yeah, we did. That actually that would have been it because we got into Bridgehander that morning and then left to come to Goodmead.
So that would be this whole same day.
Feeling healthy.
Yeah, so you guys are full of spells and special abilities.
Hale and hearty.
Is Olivessa still around?
I think I think both of them have left now.
Okay.
It's sort of leaving you alone in the meat hall.
And we asked them if there was anything they need around town. Hey.
Yeah, they just said be seen. You know.
Okay. Just lift morale.
Feats of strength, I
Do
believe.
that naturally.
Well, I might head back to my house and just do what I did before I met everyone and just start whittling something
Take an
to
auto
pass
with
the
you.
afternoon. Yeah,
Chopping wood.
Good afternoon, Whittle.
whittling.
A little whittle.
What you working on? Just a little thing.
I think I was
I
trying to.
remember to take up one of those bundles of sticks with you this time.
Yeah, I really
There
should.
were several situations in which I'm like, man, if only we had a bundle of sticks.
I'll remember next time.
I'll get you out of it, Jim.
I've got less blankets now, so I'll bring a bundle of sticks with me instead.
Gee, a bundle of sticks could really solve this puzzle.
Need endless winter ended? Get a bundle of sticks.
Just lots of fire.
I mean, that was basically it. It's like,
Stop
if
that.
only we had some kindling right about now.
Yeah, alright, well, I'll remember next time. But I'm gonna go home. I'll sit out the front on my porch chair and whittle something.
Whittling man.
Oh, the whittler man.
It has to be a rocking chair.
Yes.
Certainly
no,
is,
no.
yeah. It barely rocks because there's so much snow just like stopping it. It's like a slight rock.
Wait, so the porch is not undercover?
No,
Oh my god!
I can't afford the extra roofing.
Those contractors really skim on you.
So I'll wave at the guys. I guess I'll see you in the evening.
Hope that deck is like well oiled and polished if it's getting snow falling on it all the time.
No, it hasn't been kept up for over a week, so...
Well, I might just spend maybe an hour just wandering around Goodmead, just see what everyone's doing, just greeting people, raising some morale as requested.
Yep.
Maybe offering some medical advice as well. Unsolicited medical advice. just what the people need.
So you look terrible.
You give me your own.
Yeah. Have you considered this salve? Almost forgot.
Not even
what
a
I have.
lotion, just a salve straight away.
Yeah.
I mean, not for nothing, but you're also the only, priest in town as well.
Oh yes, I'm
so,
a priest.
from both perspectives of doctor and spiritual, priest, you could come at it. Yeah.
Yep. I do everything from hysterectomies to baptisms. And everything in between.
Maybe not at the same time.
Everything in between.
No, after that baby's out, just get that uterus, pull it out.
You're done with that.
Well, welcome to my fertility clinic called Horatio, You're Done With That.
Looking up spell, 5e spell, take wound. I think that's a 2nd level spell, right?
That should be much higher.
Women blade. Oh wow.
Women
blade.
No.
So okay, so you're doing
That's a bit
you're
spicy.
heading around town, offering your services essentially
Yeah.
as a physician and maybe anything more.
And a spiritual man. I might ask anyone if they're familiar with Kellamvor and have they considered, reading a bit more about him. I'm basically going to become like a Mormon.
What a dual Mormon.
Have you considered Kellamvor?
Have you considered Calvor?
Take this book of Kellamvor.
Except
Which
which
you
you
don't
more
have.
into your life.
Which I
It'll
don't
happen
have.
eventually.
Yeah.
Looks like you're halfway through mowing your yard. Do you have a second to talk about Kellamvor?
It's all about that halfway point between
Yeah.
life and death.
Not at the moment, mate. Sorry. It'll only take 2 minutes.
Mommy, Lord, Mom.
So I think that either way, I mean, you're a little bit famous around town. So you are, whether people are seriously listening to you about Kalemvor or not, you are getting a small following of people sort of listening to what you're saying. Yeah. Woden, is there anything you're doing around town?
I'm going to walk around and mingle with the commoners, see if there's anything I can do for them, receive any gifts that they may have as tribute to the great adventurers.
You certainly get a couple of free meads at the mead hall. Every so often, people are coming up to you giving like little tiny trinkets, like straps of leather that are important to them. And they put in some sort of braid or
free
like
gifts.
some sort of. Like you definitely notice that some people have got some whittled items that are probably definitely something they bought from Sveta a while ago. Maybe it's like a re-gifting situation. Like, oh, I got this last Christmas from my cousin. Here.
Oh, you're playing my items are like re-gift worthy and really shit.
I mean, when they don't have anything to give that they want to give.
It's going to just whittled items. So yeah, So you're just going around just talking to people?
Shaking hands, kissing babies.
Of course.
Performing hysterectomy.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
That's going to be a different experience. Okay. So again, just like Horatio, I mean, you get a small following of people if you're being that out and about. I mean, people sort of are looking towards you as heroes. So yeah, you're getting a small gathering of people giving you little trinkety items as well.
I want to do that thing where I walk down the market street and people just hand me produce like the Don.
That's a nice Don.
Except the produce is all honey.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a masan.
I can imagine them like, maybe they make like candles out of beeswax.
Yeah,
there's a lot of like bee byproducts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it has to be related to a bee.
Cop some bee-related apparel.
I have this jar of bees for you.
It's just a jar of bees.
Why is this gift buzzing angrily? It's bees.
Don't open that.
Would you like lemonade or bees? Bees?
Bees it is. Here, make sure you hold this like smoky wet rag while you're opening your gift.
Carnelian.
Carnelian is definitely going to abuse this newfound fame to create a stage for himself in the mead hall, and probably start by announcing that everyone is surely aware of the death of the Verbeeg, but now if they want to know the details, he can fill them in. Exactly. And then start playing and like singing about, not only how there was just a Verbeeg, about how we killed an ogre and its pet bear as well.
Yeah.
So you're fudging details?
Oh, absolutely not. But yes.
So what they've done as well, like you've become more of a common fixture in the mead hall. They've sort of like lashed together several barrels and put pallets on top to make a makeshift stage.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's definitely like got that small town pub feeling where they've just whatever makes do. But like it's more official than what you had before, which was just a barrel.
Just a barrel. Yeah. I've stepped up from one barrel to several barrels with a board over it.
With pallets and boards, yeah. And you two also have a full, whether or not like people are hanging around, you always have a small audience to play for. Roll me a performance check, actually.
Carnelian will not accept money, but he will accept food and beer. Well, mead in this case.
So honey and mead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man.
Or knucklehead trout.
Carnelian won't say no to some wax to chew on later. That is a 19.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, the performance is good. You slowly gather more and more people throughout the rest of the afternoon until you've got a very sizable crowd. Throwing honey at you and beeswax candles.
If he's gonna have a crowd, he's probably gonna start talking about like the other exploits as well. And he's like, oh well, if you enjoyed that one, wait till you hear about these Duragar we killed.
You've got a couple of hours now. Like if you're just gonna play for a while, you've got a couple of hours to make a sort of bit of a set.
Yeah.
So
he'll like make sure to slip in some like some points about making sure not to judge people based on their initial appearance, because sure Sveta and Carnelian will feature prominently in all of these stories.
The guy in the front row is just like, oh yeah, he's got a good point. Maybe kobolds aren't so bad.
Maybe it's a good thing you didn't kill this kobold when you first came to town.
Didn't a kobold kill your sister? No, we're not talking about that now.
That was a blue kobold.
That was a blue kobold, yeah. Screw those blue kobolds.
They'll get there eventually.
One colour kobold. One colour kobold.
Oh no, what have I done?
This is backfired spectacularly.
1 step forward, 3 steps back.
Stop! Oh my god.
Nice.
What have I done?
Nice.
Small town crowd, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you end up, a couple hours later, setting down from your stage. Is there somewhere you'd like to go? Or are you just going to head to Sveta's?
Once it starts wrapping down for the evening, he will head to Sveta's because he doesn't know anywhere else he can really stay at this point.
Sure. As you start, so you exit the mead hall, and you head basically towards the Shrine of the Flaming Sword, where Kendrick's body was buried. You then have to take a north up the sort of main street to eventually get to Sveta's house on the edge of town. And you are in this sort of intersection. It's gotten a bit later and you don't see anyone around. Maybe they're all still at the mead hall, but it seems a little bit odd that you're sort of by yourself on the street. And as you step into the center, you think you hear something? A whisper.
You
turn
Are we all
around-
together?
Sorry?
We're all together?
At the moment, Cornelian's by himself.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you step out in the street and you hear this whisper, like someone's just sort of walked up to your ear and just said something slightly inaudible.
That is a lot different than what I initially expected. Or turn the head around to side to try and find the source of the noise.
There doesn't appear to be anyone there. And you sort of like, it's a bit strange. You keep taking up another couple steps forward to head towards Sveta's house and you hear it again, but out of the other ear.
And there's no one in the streets.
You turn around again, no one there. Make a perception check.
Oh, that is 6.
You don't see anyone at all. It's almost like the place is abandoned. Since you moved into the street, you remember, you're taken back to the very first time that we started this podcast, where there seems to be a light haze or fog settling into the edges. Like, you can see far enough, it's not like it's cutting off all your vision within 5 feet, but the houses in the distance are a lot harder to make out.
Oh no.
It's gone all Silent Hill on me.
We have encountered Silent Hill territory.
Maybe it's time to hurry up.
You start picking up the pace and you head north towards the main roads. And again, just as you're in the middle of the street, you don't see anyone at all. Like, you're now sort of a little bit alarmed because it wasn't so late by the time you left. You're probably coming into the late afternoon. You'd expect people to be walking around. But you don't see anyone. And as you start getting up the street, you hear those whispers again, but it's almost like 2 people are talking at the same time. And it's just like right beside you. And then you take another step forward and you hear it again, but now it's like 3 or 4 people. It's almost like you're in a room full of people that are like saying something that you just can't quite hear.
I don't like this at all.
And now the edges of the vision where the fog and cloud was coming in is starting to get darker, as if we've gone to night prematurely. And everything starts to close in. Those whispers are now non-stop. You don't get a break, and they're just like and it's just multiple overlaying and overlaying and overlaying. You're then walking forward until suddenly you realize that you almost can't see your hand in front of your face. It's like you're alone in a dark space with a spotlight on you. And when you try to reach your hand forward to sort of go into the dark, you hit something. Your vision then starts to, like, you feel like as soon as your hand hits this solid object, you feel your body begin to float. Almost like you're being suspended underwater. You don't feel like you're suffocating, but now that you put your hand in this solid object and you're floating, you feel like you're looking through, like, water. And your hand sort of, like, spreading out from where your hand contacts, you feel like your hand is sort of revealing almost like a glass window in front of you. That sort of full body. And you realize that it's like sort of in this oval shape, and everything around you otherwise is just black. Now all you can see is through this window. The whispering seems to have quietened down, but it's still sort of present. And you peer through, and you can see opposite you and around at you as you sort of try and look and crane your head around this very limited space. These pods with glass facings, like oval glass windows in front of them, and very like shadowy figures of like humanoid creatures seem to be also suspended in them. And it's like you're in a ring of them all facing each other. And in the middle is this long table that's just sitting there. It has a spotlight on it. So the rest of you are just sort of in this sort of dark, maybe sort of semi-lit areas, and there's a spotlight on the table. And as you're looking around, you start to panic, like feeling claustrophobic, feeling like this sort of sensation of dread starts creeping over you. Until all of a sudden, it's like those whispers start picking up again. There's like several, and they're all becoming louder and louder. You still can't make out what they are, and that sort of brings up your anxiety all at once, until suddenly you wake up, and you are somewhere in Goodmead, in a bush that you've fallen into, just off the road. It's still late afternoon.
Poke his head out of the bush and see if anybody's like looking at him.
No one's looking at you, but you can see people walking up and down the street. And you now have an absolutely killer headache.
I don't like this.
Do you still want to head to Sveta's?
Yes.
You sort of stumble up, your legs feel like jelly, like you sort of have been in this cramped space all like cooped up for a while.
He's gonna like reach like down and just like make sure that everything is still where it should be.
Everything appears to be where it should be, but your body just almost feels like it's been like cramped and sort of confined for a while. Everyone else, during this time, is there something you want to do?
You mentioned earlier that people were giving me mead, and I maybe had a few drinks at the mead hall. Mm-hmm. So maybe on my stumble back to Sveta's, I'd probably go the same route via Kendrick's grave, and
his body has now been buried, so there's no body out in the Shrine of the Flaming Sword, but you can definitely go past where that ceremony was held.
Okay, I'll do that, and a little quiet reflect. To mumble a few words under my breath to Kendrick, and then carry on.
Okay.
Press F. Press F to pay respects.
Pay respects.
Miss you, Kendrick.
Horatio.
And, well, you know, if you need me to baptise that kid and then you're all done with kids, just come and find me. You know where to find me. I'm around. Anyway, I should probably get going. Thank you for your audience. Make sure you apply the salve twice a day, Rick. Twice a day. And you'll be fine. Thank you for your money.
Do I need to take this medicine with food?
No, take it without, because then it feels stronger.
Oh, good. I was planning on just drinking mead.
Well, the mead will help, if you wish. It's up to you.
Time to get smashed on medicine and mead, then. And he just turns around and leaves with the salve.
Liberal application. Liberal application.
All right.
Horatio's accepting money.
Yes.
No. Yes, it seems that I am on the spot. I'm gonna head to.
You've gotten 6 copper pieces.
Oh yes, I'm making money swindling Goodmead. Well, those sales are legit.
Swindling? You're a doctor.
Oh, those sales are legit, man.
Yeah, I mean, I
copper
don't know.
for a salve,
Doctors can
that's
peddle
pretty good.
snake oil if they
Pretty good deal.
choose to.
Might do something in this realm.
Snake salve,
Snakes.
but it does work.
What was that, Andy?
Oh, I just had 6 copper for a dose of salve's pretty good.
It's not bad. Basically giving it away.
Yeah.
He's
giving it away at cost price.
Yeah, that's how much I care. I'm going to head to Sveta's, I think.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is, Sveta, you're still sort of whittling out front, and you can see both Horatio and Woden are approaching your place, but you don't see any sign of Carnelian at this stage.
Yeah. Oh, because I would say I've been at this for a few hours. There's Otto by my feet, with my tail's like draped over his face, and behind me on the sill of my house is 3 completed figurines. I'm whittling one more, and I see them come up. I'm just like really relaxed.
Chill.
I just wave, maybe, guys.
Hey, Sveta.
Hey, Sveta.
Hello.
Did you make those just now?
I did. It's you guys.
Oh.
This one's Dogcliff, and this one in my hand.
Oh my god, he's so cute. Just like real life.
It's so I don't forget you guys. And yeah.
That's really sweet, Sveta.
Dogcliff comes running up and like starts playing with Otto.
Waking him up.
Just waking him up. They just start doing a little bit of playing by your feet.
They can play in the street, I guess. I don't have a yard.
Oh, they're in your porch.
Yeah.
Dogcliff, outside.
In the backyard, which is
front
just
yard.
like a
Yeah.
forest.
Play the forest.
They both just run towards the back of the forest.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Carnelian?
No, I just did walked around town and gave some unsolicited medical advice and made my way here.
Are you allowed to do that?
No one's arresting me.
Sure, yes.
I was just trying to help, you know.
It's very thoughtful.
Last I saw him, he was singing at the pub.
No, he must be still singing then. You've got a lot in your hands. Why do you have so much? Why you carry so
people
much?
gave me some things. They were big fans of our adventuring, and they gave me these leather straps.
Are you drunk?
Yes. Here's a leather strap.
Thank you.
You can wrap it on your figurines.
Don't take this any further, but if you give me your rod, I can wrap it around for a nice grip.
My rod's already wrapped constantly.
Your fishing rod.
Oh.
So
Here
you
you
can
go.
grip it when you fish.
Oh, that's a good idea. Sveta, do you have any more meat? And what's that smell?
I've got meat inside. What smell?
I don't know, it just smells like something in here.
Have you actually gone inside, or are you still on the porch?
Oh, I'm still on the porch.
Oh,
Stop sniffing my
never
home.
mind. Maybe this is someone's fireplace or something, I don't know.
You smell something burning?
Maybe.
Put the back of my hand against Warden's forehead.
I mean, he's a little bit drunk, sweaty.
Yeah. Do you need
Drunk, sweaty.
He's been in that
Arms heavy, drunk, sweaty.
You got the drunk sweats.
Sweat them? Are you okay?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good. The people love us.
Yeah, a lot. Do you need to lay down?
Maybe I need to lay down. Can I come inside?
Yeah, of course. And I'll open my house up.
You head inside, and I think we spoke about this last time with Soda's house. So it's a pretty basic sort of like, think of it like a studio apartment. Like there's no dividing rooms or anything like that.
There's tiny kitchen, and like a disheveled couch.
Yeah, that's been destroyed by Otto last time you left him in here alone. It's a pretty tight space.
Good thing you got that mending spell.
It's a good thing I took mending.
Yes.
That's for later.
Can I come in too?
Of course you can.
Thank you. Yes, just like I remember it, like last time. It's very
It's a
comfortable.
mess. Yes. It's actually thinking it's pretty small. The bed's a bit of a mess if you don't mind laying down there.
That's fine. If you can just point me towards my bedroom, I will head there right now.
Oh, right, you have a house here.
Yes.
You should probably go to your house. Maybe you...
That's fine. It's fine. I'll stay here. Where's my bedroom?
Wouldn't perhaps I could take you to your house?
No.
Well, that's my bed. Your bedroom's not here. We don't bunk.
I'm not sure if it will fit in this one.
Okay. I have to get my things tomorrow anyway, so... Horatio, can you please take me? Take me, Horatio.
I will take him.
Okay.
Put my arm around his shoulder and just get real close in his ear. Take me, Horatio.
Oh, okay.
Horatio,
well.
do you need a hand at all?
I think I can handle him. Yes, I'll be all right.
All right. Well, I'll see you tomorrow morning then.
Yes, we'll come to you.
Okay.
Come back here.
Don't forget your leather strap. And I give you a second leather strap.
Oh, thank you.
You hold on to that one. It's the only one you're getting.
I'll treasure it. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Night. Still the afternoon.
Thanks for the figures,
And it's also just you that he said it to.
Yeah. Be careful, Horatio.
Oh, it's fine. I've had worse. Thank you for the figurines, Sveta. That was a
There's
lovely
one
gesture.
to keep, but you can have it.
Oh, thank you for carving it.
Just Horatio's like, you've taken this one, you gotta take another one now.
Oh, yes, of course you can have it.
No. I put it down with my cloak.
Oh, if you
It's a
want
lovely
it,
little set.
I can make you one. I'm going to make you one.
Okay.
Horatio, you can have this leather strap.
Oh, thanks.
There you go.
Thank you.
Sweater, have you had one yet?
I'm going to be strapped. I'm trying to give them up.
Okay.
Thanks
I'll
for that.
put them in my pocket.
Okay.
Appreciate that, Warden. I was pretty strapped.
No.
So the two of you then starting to leave Sveta's house and sort of just fading off into the distance. The afternoon is now starting to get later, so it's starting to get darker, although it's still very easily enough to see by. But you disappear towards Warden's house. After a couple more hours coming into the very late afternoon, trending on evening, Carnelian, you arrive at Sveta's place.
Hey, Carnelian. I have finished Dogcliff's figurine.
Yes.
And now I'm doing
Are
a
you like
tiny...
on your porch? Or?
I'm on my porch again.
You've got bonfire going.
I've got Dogcliff with me as well.
Yeah, Dogcliff and Otto are now just sleeping with you.
I'm whittling a tiny dog. Just, it looks like a potato because I'm basing off of Horatio's napkin drawing. Of Jeffrey.
Oh, yes.
It looks really bad, but I'm doing that and you're
I
stumbling up.
imagine it's like a fat schnitzel dog.
Oh, it's something. It might look like a dog. It might look like just a potato.
Tiny little legs.
Yeah. Hi, Carnelian.
Where are the other two?
Well, Warden is drunk, so Horatio took him home. 'Cause,
He has a harm?
yeah, the Warden's been living in Goodmead for a few weeks. I thought you knew this.
Oh, I knew he'd been... Oh, I guess I'd never questioned where he lived here.
I actually don't know where his house is, but I'm assuming it's to the west. You look a bit woozy. Are you drunk also?
Not yet. They did give me some mead.
What?
But I'm more interested in this. He pulls out some like some honeycomb and just
Oh, that's very nice.
It's very chewy.
Yeah. It's supposed to last a while.
Is it?
Choose faster.
Well, it is getting dark if you want to go inside and start a fire. In your own time.
He'll take the invitation and walk inside and nod.
Yeah, there's a little stove fire in there, fireplace. So you can start a fire if you want.
Prestidigitation. Whoom. God, I love magic. It makes my life so much easier.
Yeah.
So as it turns out, I guess, so Carnelian and Sveta are staying at Sveta's, so I guess one on the couch and one in the cot with the two, Otto and Dogcliff hanging around somewhere.
Carnelian just needs somewhere that's flat with a pillow on it.
There's a couch. You can sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
Like every band member should.
Oh,
I didn't mean
that
that.
was real. The Otto and Dogcliff are curled up by the stove fire, and that evening, otherwise, for you guys, is relatively uneventful.
Yep.
The only thing I suppose might be playing in Carnelian's mind is the stuff that happened in the afternoon.
Yes, well, Carnelian will, at least before bed, pull out some, break out a bit more music, but maybe not about himself this time.
You're just staying quiet for the night.
Did he tell Sveta at all, or was he just keeping it to himself?
Just keeping to himself.
I'll cook up some goat and give us that for the
Well,
night.
at least you're not wasting them.
Well, it's been out in the back in the ice, so it's preserved for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll cook us dinner and then have a quiet night.
And then the lazy notes and sounds from kind of an instrument which we've changed from a viol to a violin to what is it now?
It's a contrabass
fiddle.
saxophone.
It's a fiddle now.
I mean, like it's hard to gauge because it's built for him.
It's tiny.
It is not quite the world's smallest violin, but it's getting there.
And so those notes sort of lazily drift away. And you, Carnelian in particular, get off to an uneasy sleep as your dreams are filled with the images that you saw this afternoon. Woden and Horatio eventually make their way to Woden's house in Goodmead, which is a relatively simple house that has a couple of rooms, one of which is going to be Woden's room. It's got a very basic kitchen and living room area, but it's otherwise a little bit bigger than Sveta's, so there's just a little bit more divided rooms.
Didn't you say it was left back there?
I'm pretty sure it's this way. No, you're right, it's left. Right.
So is it right or left?
No, it's left, right? So
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's to the left.
Should we just door knock on every house? And wait and
No,
see?
it's got... Oh...
So after door knocking on every house along the street,
Cannonball, give me strength.
you eventually find the one that actually is Woden's. A few people giving you directions as well. Oh yeah, he lives down this way.
This guy knows. He knows my house. He's seen it.
I don't doubt that for a moment.
Biggest house on the street, right?
It's okay.
Yeah, it's a rental.
You guys get in. It's now getting late, and I think Woden's pretty drunk. Is there anything you'd like to do before getting off to bed?
Have a seat, and I'll sort of lower him down onto I guess you got a couch or a seat or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's not a nice house by any means, but it's a rental, so it's probably pre-furnished, so nothing too fancy in there, just like all the basics though. Okay. And it's multiple rooms unlike Sveta's. I do have a spare bedroom.
Okay,
Yes.
and I'll sit him
flex.
down, and then I'll go
Sorry
about
that, Sveta.
starting a fire and mumbling like stupid magic users with their bloody flick their fingers as a fire. I have to do it the old-fashioned way.
You make this look so easy.
Do you know how to make tea?
Yes,
Can I please have a tea?
certainly. I can
Thank you,
brew us both
Horatio.
one. I'll make us some tea. You just sit tight and be you.
Killer's under the basin.
Cannonball's under the basin?
The kettle.
Ah, the kettle.
Kettle.
I'm sorry, I was working on a funny, but it wasn't my best. Okay, I'll brew us up a little something. Where do you keep the leaves?
In the cupboard on the left, alright?
Oh, the other left, gotcha. And I'll put together some leaves, and once the fire's going, I'll boil some water and prepare us some tea.
I'd say Woden's probably, after the tea's probably starting to feel a bit better. I think the cold walk home and a nice cup of tea would sober him up a little bit.
Starting to sober a little bit, yeah.
Some bit of colour coming back in your face, Warden. That's a good sign. How do you feel?
Oh, feeling better. I hope I didn't embarrass myself in front of Sveta. Her house was a little bit smelly. Was that just me, or...?
I think it's just the smell of her occupants. I think that's the... Yeah, you ever had a dog in your house?
No, actually, I haven't.
You don't really realise that they have their own smell, but you don't notice it because it's part of the house, it's part of the family. So that smell, I think, was from maybe it's from Otto.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes,
Little
Jeffrey
bear
had
in the house.
Jeffrey had a signature smell.
Jeffrey for men.
Yeah, we tried recreating it, called Eau de Jeff, but never really got it.
I feel this might be also a slight commentary, and we have two cats.
Does that one smell?
It's all coming out.
No, I was zero parallels.
All right.
No parallels.
But dogs, if you live in a house with a dog, dogs
Yes,
tend to
dogs have
yeah.
a scent. like sort of musky sort of.
It's just how it is.
Your house is definitely not friendly to people with allergies.
Yes,
though.
that's true.
Weak people.
Yeah. We apparently have a lot of those as friends.
Yeah. Need new
Cat
friends.
allergies are apparently quite common.
Well, we know that now after getting 2 cats. Yes.
So, this is a fine leaf, Woden. What's the tea? What's the leaf?
I don't know. There was a welcome pack when I got here. It was just in there as part of the hamper.
Oh, I see. Was that the way right welcome pack?
Yes.
I got one of those when I.
Okay, what is a good northern kind of tea? Because they wouldn't have like a lot of those like spices up north. It'd be like a very strict leafy thing.
It'd be whatever keeps you warm.
Leafy, earthy. Yeah,
Ooh,
it's good. I do prefer a more bitter blend. This is quite nice.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm nearly all the way through it. Nearly need some more. Anyway, your room's at the back there. Ignore the pillows. They're very frilly. I don't like frilly pillows, so I put them in the spare room.
Oh, I get that. Yes, understandable.
Anyway, how did you find today? Walking around town.
I think it went quite well. I just offered some assistance and advice. Someone even bought a salve for me. They weren't really after any spiritual advice. I must admit it was very medical. I feel like these people don't have time to dream about gods. They really they're injured and they need help.
Yes, not a whole lot of culture in Goodmead outside of the hall. It's very much a survivalist mentality around here.
That's it. Their culture is just that. It's a culture of survival. So glad I was able to assist in some degree. What about you? You seem to have a lot of trinkets and gifts.
Yeah, cool. Hey, some people was giving me stuff. I was just wandering around and helping people with odd jobs, lifting things, helping old ladies cross the street. Yeah, they seem to really appreciate what we've done around here. Killing the Verbeeg and avenging that speaker. Yeah.
It seems like a lot of people in Goodmead are leather workers. You seem to receive an alarming number of leather straps.
Yeah, there's a lot of straps. Do you want a strap? Here's a strap.
Oh, thanks.
Anyway, I might hit the proverbial sack.
Yes, I might do the same.
Shall we meet at Sveta's? We'll aim to be there at mid-perpetual morning, or...
Yeah, I think mid-perpetual morning works well.
Perfect, I'll set an alarm.
I didn't bring mine with me. You'll have to knock on my door.
Hey, Sylvanus, set alarm for mid-perpetual morning.
Well, that's a good idea. Hey,
Alarm
Kalimvor. Set alarm for mid-perpetual dawn. Am I doing that right?
Yeah, sounded good.
Okay. Oh, we'll see if he wakes me up.
Alarm set 5:30 p.m.
What the fuck?
PM? Oh my god.
What the fuck? Well, almost got it. Jesus. I mean, Kalimvor.
It's like, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Can you please repeat?
That's pretty good.
And so the two of you then break for the evening.
Good night, Woden.
Night, Horatio.
You start... So you go to your respective rooms, and Woden, since you are still a little bit drunk from the day of drinking and general gallivanting about, you seem to get to sleep fairly easily. As you're drifting off, it feels like you can hear you're like you're just hearing a light thump, like a thump, 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 almost like a heartbeat. Like, you know, when you...
While I'm asleep? Am I already
as
asleep?
you're drifting off.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then as you fully get to sleep, that heartbeat starts turning into like a clinking sound, like a metal striking metal sound. Ping, ping, ping. You find yourself standing in darkness, with that sound somewhere in front of you. And you can see, just as you're sort of trying to, your eyes are trying to adjust, you can see what you think is like a light or a flickering light a little bit in the distance.
Knuckle, is that you again? I know what you're thinking. I didn't kill any of those goblins, but I couldn't catch up. I wasn't fast enough. I'll get the next time.
The only thing that responds is that clanking, clanging sound starts to become louder and louder. That light is still in the distance.
Are you there? Are you gonna respond, or... Hello?
You make a perception check.
Jeez. Where's my stuff? Perception.
Get perceiving.
Oh, 19.
That light ahead of you is flickering like firelight, and you can make out in the distance what you think might be a figure, like, moving in it.
Alright, I guess I'll head towards it.
You begin walking. At the moment, at the outset, you're in darkness, just moving towards this light that's growing slowly bigger and bigger. And as you start moving towards it, you notice that there are things sort of starting to appear, like chains hanging that reach off into the darkness above you. You notice that the area around you gets a bit brighter, and you think that you've got this sort of like hard-packed dirt that you're walking across. Eventually, as you get closer and closer to the light, you can see tables like stretched out, or like different tools that a blacksmith might use. And this figure you can see in the firelight appears to have its back to you, and it looks like it's in front of an anvil, and it's just striking something on the anvil.
Like the chains, they're new.
You start getting closer and closer until you're probably only about 10 feet behind the figure. That as soon as you get that close, that figure melts away. Almost like a shadow that suddenly unfocuses and drifts off into different particulate form. And all you can see now is the fire just behind an anvil with a hammer sitting up on the anvil.
Like a full-size warhammer, or like a blacksmith?
Yeah. No, a full-size warhammer.
Alright. Is it... I'll grab it?
You move forward and you recognise that it is, in fact, Beefcliff that's sitting there on the anvil. As you get to within, reaching distance of it, another figure seems to almost appear out of nowhere in front of the firelight and step forward. He is a dark-skinned figure with long ears, silver hair, and covered in ornate robes. And you think you recognize this figure. The figure of Grumpf Banar.
Grumpf?
Grumpf Banar.
And before you can reach, you look up and you see he's smiling from ear to ear. Maybe a little bit too much teeth are showing.
I'm definitely going to reach.
You reach forward and you grab Beefcliff. At the same time, Grumpf also reaches forward and grabs the hilt as well. So now Beefcliff is in between you, and you both have a hand on it. And
So the anvil is between us both?
The anvil is between you both, and so is Beefcliff, and you both have grabbed Beefcliff. And he leans forward, and you can hear him very clearly say, "You can't run, Woden. I've found you."
You haven't found me. And I'll put a foot on the anvil. I'll try and push back like one of those swimming podiums. Just still holding Beefcliff. I'm just trying to use that as leverage to pull it away from him.
Okay, make a strength check.
This will be good.
Extremely strong.
He is famously good at strength checks.
So that's why it's
See if you keep Beefcliff.
Roll for
14.
14.
What was
Doesn't
negative
beat
one?
my 15, though. So you try and pull Beefcliff away, but this grip that Goronf has on Beefcliff is just keeping you locked in place, even as you try and put your foot up and pull him over the anvil. He looks like he's smiling, and you hear him laughing. And he reaches forward, and his hand trying to grasp his other offhand trying to grasp your arm. He's going to cast Shocking Grasp.
Jesus.
Okay, I need to make a melee spell attack, I think.
It was a really good laugh, by the way.
Thank you.
It was good.
Let's see.
So what's he rolling against? My AC?
Your AC. Yeah.
Sans shield.
No shield, as it turns out. That is going to be 16 to hit.
Does Shocking Grasp do something if he's wearing metallic armor?
Probably, but I don't think it's going to matter here necessarily.
What is your roll, sorry?
16.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so that's going to be 4d8.
Easy.
He just dies in his sleep.
There was nothing you could do.
Morgan suffered a fatal heart attack.
Not my Beefcliff.
It's not too bad. 14 points of damage, and that will be lightning damage.
15 damage. Alright. Do I get to go?
So he touches your arm, and you feel that lightning run down your arm. What would you like to do in response?
So he's got Beefcliff in his hands.
Both of them do, yeah.
Maybe I will... I guess I will... Cast Booming Blade.
Yep.
On, so while I've got Beefcliff in my hands, you just see a ripple of sort of force energy go down my arms and onto the hammer, and I'll try and pull it away from him again. Is that an action if I try and pull it away from him again?
Yeah, so you're both hanging on to this thing, so it's kind of like a grapple situation. I'll let you attack with the weapon if you want, so you're struggling with it, you're trying to hit him with part of it. Yeah.
Trying to bonk him with my...
If you want to. But the important thing is you both still have a hand on it. He was not letting it go.
Okay. So that's just a regular attack with Beefcliff?
Yep.
That's pretty good. 19.
That's a hit.
Okay. And I'm assuming that's two-handed?
Yeah, we'll do it two-handed. That's fine.
That's pretty good as well. Pretty good. 11.
11. Okay. Cool. So you smack him with Beefcliff, just as you're struggling with it, and it sort of swipes across his face.
Sorry, I got to roll more damage. I forgot Booming Blade already.
You only just cast it.
That is... Oh shit, Booming Blade is an action.
Yeah, but it's part of an attack, so that's okay.
Oh yeah, true it is. So that's 6 thunder damage as well.
Okay, that's cool. So the head of the hammer comes up and smacks Scrump in the face with that thunder damage, just this huge force, and he just goes, "Brah!" And then he turns his head back and he's looking at you, and he's still smiling, but now blood is trickling down one of his, the corner of his mouth. And he points a finger at you, and he casts Lightning Bolt. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, jeez. Dexterity saving throw.
Come on, Walden.
Great. Oh, that's pretty great. That's a dirty 20.
That's enough. So you'll take half damage from this.
Okay.
And that is 8d6.
Fuck.
You gonna survive this?
I mean, I get half damage.
Get beef or die trying.
Yeah.
I don't quite have enough d6. Oh, no, I do. There we go. There's 8.
Must be hard for you over there.
I know. It's very difficult. I'm only having a lot of fun. On the death die, I got 6. That's not good. 35. So that's going to be 17.
That's exactly what you needed.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So what happens is he points his finger at you, and whilst you were able to sort of move out of the way of most of it, all that lightning was still crackling and sort of flowing into you through Beefcliff, and you are no longer able to hold on to it. You let go, and you're forced backwards. And you're standing there, and your vision starts going hazy as you can see Gronth is sort of spinning Beefcliff in his hand, and he's sort of laughing at you. I found you, and he steps forward and swings Beefcliff, catching you in your chest.
Don't do this, Gromf!
You get smacked by Beefcliff, and in that moment, you wake up, and you have this crushing weight on your chest. You are, in fact, dying. You can see Beefcliff on your chest, and it's caved in part of your rib cage.
Beefcliff is on my chest, like
Yes.
in actual life.
Yes, you're waking up in your bed, and Beefcliff is on your chest, and sort of like in a way, like it's sort of angled out, and you can feel a presence that is sort of its weight is on your like lower half of your body, like someone's sitting on the bed on top of you, and they've just swung Beefcliff down into your chest, crushing it, and you feel this presence lean forward, and you can't see anything though, like it's completely invisible, but you know it's there, and you hear this. I found you, Woden. Sleep tight. The weight suddenly lifts off, and Beefcliff lifts off as well, and you see it, like, out of the corner of your eye. You're winded completely. You're like, barely able to talk. And you see Beefcliff, like, almost drops to the floor. You hear this, like thudding sound of the metal hitting the floorboards, and then you see the end of Beefcliff, like someone's dragging it from one end. As it drags across the floor, and your door opens up, Beefcliff then lifts into the air, almost like someone's putting it into a cloak or coat, and it disappears. Night, night. Horatio, from your room, you suddenly hear this sort of like waking you up out of your sleep. You sort of think that you hear some sort of like crashing sound or thudding sound, and you're not really sure what you've heard. And as you wake up, you hear this sort of like scraping sound coming from the room opposite you.
I'll quickly get up, grab my mace, and I'll quickly but cautiously enter back into the hallway. Do I hear anything?
The first, make a perception check.
Do I get to yell or like gasp prayer or make it saving throw?
What do you want to say? It's like you're winded. It's like you can barely talk. But what do you want to do?
I just want to yell out.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'll hear it. I'm not sure though. I rolled a natural 1.
You don't.
So 4.
You don't hear anything, but the first thing you do see is the open door to your left.
That's leading back to the...
That's leading into Woden's room.
Oh, it's to... Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll go in. I'll just walk up to the doorway and look in.
You look in, and you can see Woden lying on his back, and it looks like he's gasping for air.
Oh, I'll run in and just quickly assess him.
You run in, make a medicine check.
I went to med school, didn't I? 16.
You immediately get to him, and the first thing you notice as you sit down, so Woden's gasping for air, and there's sort of blood coming out of his mouth and nose, and you can see as you peel back the sheet and the blanket, Woden's chest has this indentation where it's been crushed, like it's been hit by some sort of very heavy object.
Woden, hang in there.
In your professional opinion, he's dying.
In my professional opinion, I don't... Okay, Kellenville, I don't have anything I can use other than you. Okay, so... Just let me do my thing here. Okay, Kellenville, please assist. Save my friend, and I'll cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level on him.
You go to cast Cure Wounds, you feel that familiar magical divine energy start to run through your body, but then it's almost like a short. It sort of starts sputtering, and the energy that you would normally feel sort of runs out. You use the spell slot, but nothing happens to Woden.
It's not working. Come on.
Horatio, you feel like something familiar like in the room with you, almost like someone's standing behind you.
Okay. I'll quickly turn my head back. Do I see anyone?
You don't see anyone, but it's almost like someone is standing there.
Can I, like, if I feel like there might be someone there, can I sort of look and listen a bit more closely?
Make a perception check.
Oh my god, a 1 on the first, a 3 on the second. 6?
6?
Yeah. He's so invisible.
You don't see anything, but the presence feels familiar. Like it feels very similar to like when you are casting spells or doing anything like that. It has that same sort of feeling about it. It's like so whatever is there that's watching you feels very much like the same as like when you're normally able to cast.
Okay. Killenvor, is that you? Are you there? Give me a sign.
And you see that the room starts filling with a grey light.
Killenvor,
Is that a good sign or a bad sign?
Killenvor, if that is you, I could really use your help. My friend is dying, and it seems like my abilities to treat him are going, they're going unworking, along with my ability to speak.
You'd be very panicked. I mean, your friend is there dying at your hands.
I would turn to wherever I sense that he may be.
Yeah.
And I will actually get on my knees and just say, Almighty Killenvor, if you promise to save my friend, I swear a life of servitude. I will spread your name. But please help my friend.
You feel like the very slightest feeling of a weight on your shoulder.
Please, I'm dying.
You feel that weight on your shoulder like it's a hand, and the presence grows stronger. Like it's filling your stomach almost with that energy that rises out and starts filling the rest of your body.
I feel it, Killenvor. Yes. Okay, once more. I'll try again with your blessing. And I will cast Cure Wounds at second level again.
Okay. This time, the familiar energy does seem to spread, and the spell does work. You're able to magically heal Woden, and Woden's no longer dying. His chest, like obviously all the broken ribs and crushed organs sort of put themselves back into place.
Oh,
it must be like
organs, that's better.
it must be like a really unsettling sight to see this like slightly concave chest like buff out and
Just like
bones.
ribs like pull themselves out of lungs.
Yeah,
and
just
go back into place.
If we had an X-ray view, sort of like Mortal Kombat games, they just all like knit back together.
And from a medical perspective, like Horatio is just stunned at watching basically someone magically be reformed, you know?
Yeah.
Because this
Greatest work.
his like if this was left to conventional magic, there's no way to save him. Conventional like medicine.
You unfataled his wound.
I unfataled his wound.
Wait, how many
Yeah.
HPs do I get?
Let's do that.
Please.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, you're dying. Sorry, I was just remarking at my curative abilities.
Ratio of my hit dice.
Oh jeez, not rolled great. That'll give you 8 HP.
I'll take it.
Importantly, that's 8 more than 0.
Indeed.
Yeah, it must be an incredible thing because you've cured deadly wounds before, but like this kind of injury is so visible compared. Like usually you just sort of see wounds seal up and like the bleeding stop and maybe scar tissue, but this is like almost like regenerating in a way. Like you've taken on such a deadly wound that it'd be incredible to watch.
Well, yeah, if his chest was collapsed and his ribs all busted and he was all crushed, like, yeah, he probably would have said, nope, nothing I can do about that.
Nope. Salve won't help here.
Even the salve, like, that was an act of desperation, I think. But, yeah. Woden, are you with me?
Oh, yeah. I'm here. Might need another tea.
Are you able to breathe? Your chest was collapsed.
Oh, I can breathe now. Yep, thank you. Thank you for saving me.
Are you able to sit up? Do you want
I might need a hand. Help me up.
Okay.
I'll reach out and put my hand out.
Yeah, I'll help him sit up. What happened?
I thought I had another visit from the man under the mountain, but it was, someone else. Someone worse.
Right, well...
I think he's taken Beefcliff.
He's taken Beefcliff? Why would he do that? Was he in here?
I don't know. He was, but I don't think he was actually here. I think he's a very powerful wizard.
Wait here, and I'll go and I'll go sort of run back down the hall and into the main area and outside. Just look around. Do I see anything?
You don't see anything. It's dark out. There are a couple lanterns hanging about town. It makes it hard to discern. You don't see anyone else out on the street.
I'll close the door again.
Is all my other stuff still there?
You look. So as you're sitting up, whilst Horatio's gone out to the street, you start looking around, and the only thing you see missing is Beefcliff.
Okay.
Can't see anything outside. Although, I can't see Beefcliff. Do you think he took Beefcliff?
I think so. I think that's all he could do in this form. He said he found me, but I feel like that was more of a, I guess, like an illusion, or a, I don't know. I don't think he knows exactly where I am.
I see. So you don't think he was physically here, but he somehow...
Yes, that's right.
Beefcliff.
There is more to Beefcliff than I've let on. And I don't fully understand it, but I will explain in the morning when I'm feeling higher than an 8.
Yes, well...
when I've had my full night's long rest.
Yes, well, now that we've magically, by the grace of Kellenville, we've recovered your collapsed chest, we'll discuss it on the morrow, yes. But,
Wen's going to quickly check his chest. On hearing that prompt, he's going to make sure there's no scarring or anything.
Oh, it's okay now. It's all good. Yes.
Oh, the pecs. They look all right.
The pecs look immaculate. Kellenville did a stand-up job.
I'm sure Heathcliff's fine, but these pecs, one of a kind.
That's your livelihood. I get it. Well, yeah, rest up and we can discuss it further in the morning.
And so... you guys try to go back to sleep. The very best is an uneasy sleep, but you do get a long rest in the end.
Good thing I dropped those slots
Oh, yeah.
before I
That's 2
slept.
little twos.
And so, perpetual morning breaks over Goodmead. But for us, it'll just have to be next week on Reflex Save.
Rip ribs. Rip Beefcliff.
Sorry about my ribs.
Really sorry about this.
If you put in the podcast, like, grab the soundbite for it, they do that kind of like wide fade out and Lost. I'd really appreciate it.
We can't change everything to be Lost. As much as you want this podcast to just be a Lost discussion group every week.
Dude, that's not going to be my next podcast. I'll just talk about Lost.